ALS is a relentless disease that some say is worse than death.
Marc West joined Group Health over a dozen years ago, and his most recent title was to be the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the Group Health Physicians Medical Group.
He was at a point in his career getting dramatic expansion and responsibilities. He's on the verge of promotions. He was representing us in big bodies of work.
This is a man more than anyone else in this entire enterprise that understood our business and was trusted and respected by everybody.
Marc was a wonderful coach, and I knew something was amiss when Marc called the assistant and said, you know, I can't coach today. I need you to take over. I'd never seen him do that.
The first time I heard the term ALS, I was in the doctor's office with my wife Petra. The doctor ran some tests, left the room, and then returned and said, I am sorry, you have ALS, and it is a death sentence.
When I found out he had ALS, I remember it was a private conversation between me and him. After kind of learning what it does, you know, I was pretty down about it. I was very upset. But the thing that got me through it was how positive he was, which still shocks me to this day.
When the people that Marc works with, the family of colleagues here at Group Health, learned about Marc's diagnosis, first, actually, I think there was disbelief. I think it took a while for a lot of people to accept it.
I don't know how you can go through all the things that he's been through and still be so positive with life.
Things changed as those around me refused to give up on me and began to show me how I was still adding value to their lives. That is when I decided to fight.
Again, this is a man who, I don't use this word lightly, the people that work with him and for him love him and know that he would do anything for them.
Group Health has proven to be the best company in the world to work for. The relationships I have built over the last 23 years have shown to go far beyond coworkers. While I have been out of work for over a year, they still consider me part of the team. Compassion for others and not wanting them to feel sorry for me has forced me to keep a positive attitude. The other thing is I am a little crazy and can make myself laugh, so I never feel lonely. The ALS Association is one of the most important resources. The reason I am here today is because of my care team. Not just for what they do, but for how they do it. They empower me by becoming my arms, legs and voice. The thing that has blown me away is how many people it takes to care for me. I joke that I have lowered the unemployment rate.
I think the biggest challenge facing the Evergreen chapter is that on a daily basis we're increasing in our patient load. And we don't have the resources to be able to serve as many patients as we're being called upon to serve. Currently, there are only 5 care services coordinators covering the states of Washington, Idaho, Alaska, and Montana. I'd say on any given day, we're pushing about 500 patients throughout our territory.
The Spokane chapter reaches out to probably 80 patients at any given time. We're here to serve those patients. We're under-resourced from a staff standpoint and a patient load standpoint.
We, as care services coordinators, help make sure that families and patients are connected to all sorts of different services in the area, whether it's a neurologist, a speech pathologist, an occupational therapist, physical therapist, psychologist, and give them information about the disease, its prognosis, and then also different services in the area. The first time that I met Marc West, the condition was only in his hand. It was very slow progression, or at least it seemed to be a very slow progression.
The Evergreen chapter of the ALS Association has been invaluable. This, for Mark and myself, it's been no man's land. We had no idea what we were getting into.
How did I go from having a beautiful family, a job I love, and coaching kids, to a man who cannot use his arms or legs, can't speak or eat, and now can't breathe without the use of a vent? When Group Health asked if I would come back for some meetings, I was overwhelmed. I had a new lease on life and felt relevant again.
Mark has returned to work now for a month. I would say that for a disease that has no cure, just for him going into work, that's the medicine that he's received on a regular basis now.
I felt like I still had a platform to have a positive impact on the millions of lives Group Health touches directly and indirectly.
Even though ALS is taking his body, he just hasn't given up. I mean, he's working now. I mean, I to be honest with you, I just don't understand the man. I don't know how you can do it.
This is the first time I have tried to participate in a meeting. Please be patient with me. There are a few things to know before we get started. I cannot swallow and sometimes drool. You could really help me out by adopting a norm that not only is drooling okay, it is encouraged.
He feels very, very good about his mission at Group Health.
Both Mark and Patra have been incredibly strong and incredibly inspiring. And with one of the first times I met Mark, the question he asked me was, what can I do to support the ALS community?
ALS is an orphan disease. It is like the little boy that never gets adopted, not because nobody wants him, but because nobody knows he's there. Luckily, God speaks to me. He said, I want you to help lead the fight against ALS. I said, I am up for the challenge, but is it me, and what are me? He said there are many wonderful, remarkable people who will stand up and fight with you. All you have to do is ask. I have spent my whole life being independent, helping others, but refusing to ask for help. Those days are gone. I am a dependent, humbled man asking, will you stand up and fight with me? Together, we can do remarkable things.